Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Abdul Azim Badaskshi, the Afghan Lion, 14-3 and flying at the moment on a 4-fight winning streak. Just won against Hajin Park at MFN 13. Heading towards a title shot. Everything is looking great. It's really good to catch up with you. This is the first time we're speaking, so I want to start a little bit at the beginning. Mixed martial arts. How did you get into this game?
بدایش سوالش است که چطور در MMA وارد شدی، درباره تاریخ از شروع و تا به امروز کم معلومات بدی.
خب ما مدت 5 سال شده بود که من وشو تمرین میکردم و بعد از اون در افغانستان MMA ایجاد شد. MMA زیاد رشد کرده بود و توانایی که در بدن ما بود و همه من تشویق میکردن و من با MMA جاین کردم و توانستم تا به فعلا افتخار زیاد کسب کنم در MMA.
So he initially joined combat sports in Wushu. He did it for 5 years under his teacher Ustad Nangyalai in Kabul. At that time, MMA was like almost non-existent when he started his Wushu, but as he gradually went ahead, he was training Wushu. MMA was introduced into Afghanistan, and it immediately caught his eye, and he requested his teachers and mentors that if he could move into this discipline of combat fighting. And ever since, his teachers, his mentors have been supporting him, and the only reason that he is here is because of the wise decision that he made, and also the support from his mentors.
What does this sport mean to you?
بدایش صاحب درباره MMA به تو چی ارزش داره؟ چرا میره تو فایت میکنی؟
خب به خاطر از اینکه من اولی که من توانایی در بدن من که من میتونم که یک فایتر خوب باشم و منای از این است برای من که من میتونم از طریق ازی بر روان مردم از خود خوشی را بیارم، میتونم از طریق ازی بیرق پرچم سرنگ افغانستان را به ساز در بیارم، یک نمایندگی از تمام مردم افغانستان و تمام فن خود داشته باشم، نمایندگی از فامیل خود داشته باشم. یک افتخار بزرگ از طریق ازی میتونم با وطن خود کسب کنم.
So the reason that he is in MMA is firstly because he realized very early on that he has the ability to move forward in this career. But what it actually means, this whole MMA or this whole combat sport to him, is because he takes great pleasure in bringing smiles to his people. People in Afghanistan, they have a lot to grieve about for past 40 years, and we don't have to list all the reasons, but the reason that MMA is so important for him and he's so hungry to win is because he wants to bring smiles to the people, represent his people, the resilience of Afghan people on a wider stage, and raise his tricolor, his national flag.
Yeah, I've been writing for a few websites. I've been covering this sport a long time, but I've written a few articles about you, and when I do, I see a lot of support and a lot of love from Afghan MMA fans. What is it like to be the Afghan Lion, to represent the pride, the hopes, the expectations, and maybe a bit of pressure from the people, being kind of one of the big hopes for Afghanistan in MMA?
بدایش صاحب میگه که چندین ماه میشه که ما درباره خودت بحث آرتیکل ها رو نوشته کردیم و میبینیم که چقدر مردم افغانستان تو را دوست دارن و پشت استاد است. فقط درباره همین اگه کم به ما بگی که چطور تو از افغانستان نمایندگی میکنی، از چی افغانستان نمایندگی میکنی و چی احساس داری که خودت یکی از آیدل ها یا یکی از کسایی که جوانایی که امروز در افغانستان MMA کار میکنه طرفت مثل یک لوگو میبینه؟ درباره ازی کم گپ بزن.
خب در افغانستان همه مردم ما برای خنده ضرورت دارد، چون مردم افغانستان و درد و رنج زیاد دیدن و خصوصا در هرات که اتفاق رفته بود بسیار مردم جگرخون بود و من فایت من تمامش هست بر خوشی مردم هست، چون مردم ما را سپورت میکنه. این مردم با واقعا خودشون ضرورت دارن و به خوشی ضرورت دارن، یا ما باید بر لباشون خوشی بیاریم، چون تمام زحمتایی که من میکشم به خاطر ازی هست که بتونم بر لبان مردم از خوشی بیارم، بتونم که مردم از خوش بسازم، باید سرنگ افغانستان باید سازر برم و این مردم در کنار ما هست، چون ما این مردم هست که ما هست و ما در قد مردم میخوام زندگی بکنم و بسیار جای خوشی هست که در مسابقه ما بسیار از هموطنان محمد به تشویق دیگه من توانستم که برای سرنگ افغان باید ساز در بیارم و خوشی را به دوام مردم عزیز خود تقدیم بکنم.
Grief is very common in Afghanistan, especially lately. If we look at what happened back in Herat province, where more than 4,000 people were injured and killed due to an earthquake, and 1,000 people and tens of other thousands were affected directly and indirectly. The reason that people support me, or the reason that I have this following, is because I bring a reason for them to forget all the pain and suffering and enjoy and see their resilience, their toughness, sort of displayed through his abilities and his skill in the ring. So he's representing the resilience and the spirit of Afghan people. And that is the currency for him, the support of people. If we look at what happened in the previous fight, after a whole 1 year more break, people rushed to the stadium to watch us fight in numbers. And that is what gives him joy. That is what gives him the ability and the drive to go ahead, so he can bring smiles, make people happy, and be a beacon of hope among the youth in Afghanistan, that if they try hard enough, work hard enough, they have everything in their disposal to reach the top.
It seems to me like something special is happening with you right now. You seem like you're on the way to the top, but it's not been a smooth ride. Could you explain to me in your own words what happened? Because I'm an outsider. So there was a fight with one of the MFN guys, Shrikant, because he said something about Afghan people. You broke his jaw, and then is it true you went to jail? Could I hear your perspective on what happened?
بدش میگه خودت به طرف تاپ در دنیای MMA روان هستی، اما بعض امی کل پروسه راحت نبوده. بعض چیزهای شده که بسیار متاسفانه تو را متاثر کرده. به خاطر از اینکه من هیچ معلومات ندارم، خودت یک کم دربارش بگی که یک فایتر به نام شریکانت کوشش کرده بود که مردم افغانستان کدام چیز بگه، و بعد از اون یک جنگ شده بود که خود تلاشی از روی شکستنده بودی. درباره اینمی کم بگو که اینمی حالا چی رقم تو را متاثر کرد؟
خب زندگی تمامش خوشی نهی باشه، زندگی تمامش پستی و بلندی خود داشته باشه، درد و غم خود داشته باشه. و درباره از مسابقاتی که در دور نوی ABF افتاده بود که با مردم افغانستان تبیین کرده بود و گفته بود مردم به خانه، مردم به جای، مردم بسیار دیگه پای بسیار بد از زده بودن. و اونجا سر و صدا خیست و با هم دیگر خود جنگ غارمغال شد و همیشه یاد داشته باشیم که از یک دوست صدا نمیبره، همیشه از دو دوست صدا میبره. و بعد از من رای به زندان شدم و در پریشانی ها و خستگی ها رو من دیدم اونجا. خب زندگی هست که همیشه از جانب الله جل جلاله باشه و ما در قناعت میکنیم و خوش هستیم و صبر می داشته باشیم و انسان باید همیشه صبر داشته باشه. و شکر الحمدلله بعد از یک تاریکی روشنی باشه و فعلا که دیگه او گذشت و فعلا برای گذشته فکر نمی کنم و برای آینده خود فکر میکنم که باید چی در کجا باید برسیم ان شاء الله.
So life is not a smooth ride. There's always up and events that would occur. It is true, the fighter Shrikant in MFN9, he disrespected the people. They were ladies, children, and other Afghan fans in the stand, and what he did was that he called them all people with no home and other derogatory terms to hurt their feelings for whatever reason he did, because for whatever reason he disrespected the people of Afghanistan, and that's something that Azim did not take lightly. And he says that always remember that the sound of clap doesn't come from one hand. So the reason that his jaw got broken and the unfortunate incident happened is because of him, and he has to bear the responsibility for disrespecting women, children of Afghanistan, and to be quiet in that moment is very wrong. And he says that whatever event that took place or is going to take place, it's all from God. And a human being like himself believes in patience. He believes that with enough persistence, anything that seems impossible will become possible. And this is what he was going through back after when he got jailed due to unfortunate situations. He worked on himself mentally and physically because he knew that after dark there's going to be light, and he's out today. He's happy. He's training. He's stronger mentally, physically, and spiritually, and he's looking forward. And he doesn't want to consume himself with the past bad events. He just wants to look forward and go ahead in this road.
What was the experience like for you in jail? Was it frustrating knowing that you're in your prime and you're being held back from doing what you do best?
Well, اکثر درباره همین اکسپریانس و چیزی که در زندان داشتی احساس که داشتی درباره ازی بود خودت در یکی از تاپ فایترهای آسیا بودی در وقت و بعد از او به 1 سال امی زندان مانع شد که خودت چیزی را که بسیار دوست داری و میخوای بکنی از او تو دور باشی که MMA هست.
خب طبعا وقتی من از زندان بودم طبعا جگرخون زیاد بودم و تمرینات خودم تمرین خودم میکردم و از بوتلای ها ما به دنبال جور کرده بودیم، تمرین میکردیم اونجا و همیشه و پنج نماز خودم میخوندیم و خداوند رجوع میکردیم که خدای خود مشکل من خود حل بساز. و بهترین راهی که صبر باید داشته باشه انسان و من همیشه برای امید داشتم یک روز من بیرون میرم و من خود نشان میدم به تمام جهان که عبدالعظیم بدخشی کی هست و از کجا آمده و قهرمان جهان یک روز میشه ان شاء الله. چون من برای خدای خود اعتماد دارم، برای خودت اعتماد دارم، چون من سختیایی که من گذشتم در زندان و در افغانستان من سختیایی گذشتم میتونم که مرا به آینده قوی تر بسازه و محکم تر بسازه، بتونم که یک مستر جهان باشم ان شاء الله.
Definitely, when he was in jail, it was a sad and very frustrating situation. He all around him, all he could see at that time was little hope and a lot more sadness. But that did not break his spirit. He started training. He focused on his mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of his personality. He started making dumbbells from 4 water bottles, 1 liter each, attached to basically like a shaft to both ends of it that would weigh anywhere around like 7 to 8, like 4 1 liter bottles. And he started training with those, making sure that he makes with bare minimum. He would pray very often. He would adhere to all of his prayer for his spiritual needs. And he believes that the lesson that he learned from jail was patience. And he had hope that when one day he walks out, he will be stronger. He never let the thought of being weak and helpless break his spirit. He trained and he wanted to show everyone once he comes out that who Abdul Azim Badaskshi is, where does he come from, and what does he represent. That is because he believes in himself and he believes in God. And all the trouble that he has been through, both in India and back in Afghanistan, are a testament that he has what it got to go to the top.
Is everything with Shrikant now finished? Because you both fight for MFN. Has there been apologies from either of you guys? Would you forgive him? Would you fight him in the cage? What's happened with that situation?
Andrew, I think I might have to correct you. Shrikant is no longer, I believe, active in MFN.
I see.
Yes.
And
so if you could rephrase your question.
Okay, I was wondering, was it not possible to get him, because he was fighting for MFN, was it not possible to get him to drop the charges? Was there an attempt made to try and do that?
بدخشی صاحب میگه وقتی که می حالت سر شریکانت آمد اگر درباره ازی بگویی میگه به خاطر ازی که خودش فایتر MFN بود از طرف MFN یا از طرف دوستایت سرش فشار نامد که می چارجز را پس کنه و راه را بری تو واس کنه.
مثلا چی؟
مثلا هدف از این نفر ایسته که میگه تو به خاطر این شریکان داخل زندان رفتی، میگه نشد که این شریکانت مثلا تو از پیشش یا مثلا بخشش بخوای یا پالیجی و یا هم میگه که MFN سر فشار بیاره که چارجز را پس کنه.
خب وقتی در قانونی که آمده باید قانون باز قانون خود باید انجام بده، چون من فعلا در وقت من در زندان رفتم و طبق قانونی که دولت داره و در سر من انجام دادم و به طبق که بررسی شده بود و من آزاد شدم و MFM کوشش زیادی کرده بود و همچنان دوستان دیوالا کوشش زیادی کرده من از بخیر آزاد شدم.
Andrew, there has been no communication with Shrikant. Shrikant has been in a way not very sportsman. He doesn't have that, sportsman, what do they call it, aspect to him. And he says that once you get into the legal process in India, then the law has to do what the law has to do. And he persisted and he waited through the whole process, through the legal process. And MFN did definitely help them with trying to give him emotional support and giving him other sorts of instruments of hope that he will be able to come out. But mostly it was his friends who hired lawyers, met with some high-profile lawyers, and basically did the footwork for him to come out, and that's it.
If you don't mind me asking, I'm interested. So your girlfriend is Krishna Shroff. She's a powerhouse, a matchmaker at MFN, and you're one of the best fighters on the roster. So is there a lot of interest in you guys? Does that make you like the Beckhams of Indian MMA?
بدخشی صاحب یک سوال بسیار جالب میگه خود دخترتان که از کرشنا شروف یک خانم بسیار قوی و چیره دست است که در MFN فایت جور میکنه و خودت هم یکی از مشهورترین فایترهای ساوت ایژا هستی. یکم درباره سوشال لایفت بگو که چی رقم زندگی شما را متاثر کرده، یا مثل فامیل بکام و ویکتوریا که بازیکن فوتبال امریکاست، مثل ازو هستین، مشهور هستین، چی رقم است؟ درباره از یک کمک بزن.
مثلا درباره زندگی خودمان
یک کمک درباره اینمی که چی رقم مثلا اردیتان مثلا مشهور هستین و چی رقم امرای از یمی مشهور بودن شما دیل میکنین. طرف کمره بداشته.
خب زندگی را خب با یک جا شدن خب با دست پروردگار است که یک جای باشه که یک جای نباشه و زندگی را ما خودمون باید بسازیم. چه قسم باید زندگی را جور بکنیم با هم دیگه، خود چه قسم باید باشیم و گذشت باید داشته باشیم، اعتماد به هم دیگه خود داشته باشیم و ما شکر الحمدلله در زندگی بسیار خوش هستیم، هم دیگه خود سپورت میکنیم و خصوصا مرا بسیار سپورت میکنن خصوصا در ورزش بسیار سپورت میکنن، در کنار من همیشه هست و بسیار خوش دارم ما فایت بکنم یک روز قهرمان جهان شم ان شاء الله و همیشه متوجه من میباشه و بسیار خوش هستم در کنار من هست، مثل کوواری در کنار من هست و هر قدر تعریف بکنم ازش بسیار کم هستم. بسیار خوش هستم که با هم دیگر هستیم، یک فامیل بسیار خوب، یک فامیل بسیار زحمتکش، زحمت میکشه در کار، در هر حسی که خود دنیا زحمت میکشن. الحمدلله خدا را شکر است.
All praise to the God. He feels blessed to have such a mountain of a woman in his life because she is the one who supports him emotionally. She was the one when everyone sort of left. The only person that would console him and give him the hope that he will be at the top one day was his girlfriend, and definitely he feels that the bond that they have is a special one. It does attract a lot of crowd from both countries, and it's something unique to see their bond, and he feels that Krishna is from a hardworking family who deserves what they have in their life, and he's all praise for this woman, and he thinks that this woman is a gift from God.
It turned out well for you in your last fight. You got a nice result, beautiful 18-second finish, lovely bit of ground and pound. And now Sanjeet Boudoir, he's holding the belt. He got the split decision. Is that confirmed? Are we going to see you guys fight for the belt? How excited are you for that? And when might we see that?
ولی صاحب خودت میگم بسیار خوب فایت کردی، 18 ثانیه میگه که از قوی‌ترین فایترهای ساوت ایژا رو ناکاوت کردی. فایت بعدی تایتل فایت سامورای سنجیت بادوار که خودش در اسپلیت دیسیژن برنده شد در مقابل شیمانند. آیا کنفرم است که امرای ازی تو در دور بعدی سر بیلت فایت خواد کردی یا کم درباره میگه بزن؟
خب طبعا ما در MFN 3 فایت کردم که ما فعلا در جایگاه نخست قرار دارم و طبعا که هر کسی که باشه باید در بیاد که من مسابقه بکنه سنجید بروار باشه هر کسی باشه و فعلا که قهرمان 66 کیلو خوش سنجید بروار است باید که من فایت بکنه و که انشالله که من منتظر از این روز بودم که یک روزی بخیر بتوانم که کمربند فن ورزشانه خود بکنم و بعد از این و بتوانم به سازمان‌های بزرگ انشالله راه پیدا بکنم انشالله و ما بسیار در جان است و منتظر این روز هستم انشالله.
Mhm. So he says that it is confirmed with Sanjeev because he is the title, he is the one with the title, and he is fighting in the 66 kilogram weight division. He's the only champion in that. So it is confirmed that he will be fighting him for title in the next round of MFN. He has 3 fights in his record with MFN, talking about Azim, of course. He has 3 fights in MFN, and this moment has been pending for quite a while, and he believes that this will be his moment because he's hungry, he's excited, and all he can hope is that the day of the fight arrives sooner so that he can fight.
MFN has proven a fantastic platform towards the UFC. Puya Tomar, Anshul Jubli. You were supposed to be on the road to the UFC. Is this your destiny? And not just being at the UFC. You know, McGregor famously said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Just how far do you plan to go in this sport?
پدرسر میگه MFN بسیار یک ریکارد خوب داره مثل پوجا تامور و انشول جوبلی که 2 فایتر است که به UFC را یافتن. یکم درباره خود بگو که به خودت هم هدف UFC است و چی باور داری که به تاپ UFC خاطر رسیدی یک روز یا نه؟
خب طبعا آرزوی هر فایتر است از سازمان‌های بزرگ فایت بکنه از ما MFN خانه ما است و من بخیر خوش دارم در UFC فایت بکنم چون ریکارد ما همه چیز مچ میکنم با UFC هیچ کدام مشکل نداره و ما که یک نشان میتونم که بخیر که جایگاه من در UFC هست انشالله و ریکارد همه چیز مچ میکنه انشالله که بخیر بتونم تمام مشکلاتی که در سر راه ما هست یا حل شه و بتونم که اشتراک بکنم انشالله.
He says that MFN is his home, and it's definitely evident now that MFN is producing some of the most resilient and strong talent in South Asia, and it's offering it to the international stage at UFC. Definitely, it is his goal to go to UFC. He had an opportunity, but due to unfavorable situation of him being in jail, he could not take that, and he definitely feels like the huge opportunity lost on his part, and he wish he could, but he's all hopes because he believes in himself that his record does match the one that UFC requires, and he thinks that every fighter and every dreamer wants to fight at the UFC, and he thinks that he not only dreams and wants to fight at the UFC, but he also has what it takes to go to the UFC and become a champion.
Right now, the champion in the UFC is maybe one of the best ever 145ers. How do you see your level compared with somebody like Alex Volkanovski?
بداشت درباره اینو میگه بزن که خودت میگه امروز میبینی که در UFC بسیار فایترهای قوی هستن. همین فایتی که امرای اسلام الکس داشت خودت اگه خودت مقایسه کنی نه امرای الکس چی فکر میکنی؟ آیا خودت هم با اونمون لول تالنتد و قوی هستی که به اون لول برسی؟
خب طبعا قهرمانان UFC رو با تمامش احترام زیاد دارم چون ما یک چمپیون از قهرمان هستن و زحمت کار داره. زحمت بکشی میتونه که فایت بکنی، میتونه که به آرزوهای داری برسونی. ما بخیر انشالله که دیگه با UFC فعلا زحمت زیاد کشته روان هستم و ما در UFC انشالله که راه پیدا بکنم و زحمت بیشتر و بیشتر میشه انشالله. در مقابل ما هر کس که باشه انشالله ما اطمینان میتونم فایت بسیار خوبی می داشته باشم. اطمینان میتونم یک شوی می داشته باشم که مردم از فایت من لذت ببرن. چون ما خوشدار از این هستم که برد و باخت از جانب الله است و ما میخوایم که یک شوی خوب نشان بدم که مردم از فایت من لذت ببرن. همه چیز در زندگی زحمت زیاد در کار است.
I definitely respect all the champions of the UFC, and that is because it takes sheer talent and hard work to reach that level. And the key to UFC is hard work, and he sees himself that he has what it takes. He's been working on himself physically and above all mentally to have that toughness and that hard work mindset to reach there. All those fighters, be it Islam, Alex, or anyone else who fights at the UFC stage, they did not parachute there. And the only key as a fighter, I can assure everyone, is hard work. And I am working as hard as I have ever been, because that is my goal. And I promise everyone that when they see me on the stage of UFC, I promise them entertainment, and I promise them violence. And I believe in myself. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And winning and losing is from God. But all I can promise my fans and everyone who's reading this article is that I will be there to give my best, and I'm working very hard for that.
Maximum respect. It's great to speak to you for the first time. Thank you so much for your translations as well. All the best, and hopefully speak to you again. Good luck for the title.